Hey guys, and news has dropped today about Season 9 coming out. I'm very excited about it, and it's only a couple months away. Some of the best news. We have a release date of March 20th. I'm very excited about that. That's only a couple months away. Seems like they were getting everything just kind of fine-tuned in place for this release. My sinuses are acting up. So let's have a look about Season 9. Let's see. Put on my eyeballs. Let's see what all it comes with. I'll talk about the goods and the bads about it in just a moment. We have 26 episodes, and of the 26 episodes, of course, 11 of them are the original masters. 15 of them have been recovered by other means. I believe most of the ones in this season were reverse standards converted from the tapes returned from Canada. I believe that was most of them this season. So, some of the things we have coming up for this box set as extras. We do have a nice making of for the Time Monster, which has Katie Manning and John Levine, Sergeant Benton himself, back. It's nice to see John back, and it's always nice to see Katie. We have one I'm really looking forward to as well, the Michael E. Bryant at the helm, which is a profile about him. I really like Michael E. Bryant. I tend to enjoy the stories he directs. And I love him in interviews. Like anytime he's on any of the collection Blu-ray sets or on the DVDs when they're doing interviews with him, I always enjoy his interviews. So I'm really looking forward to that. We have another location with Katie and friends, revisiting filming locations from Season 9. That'll be fun. They have a behind-the-scene look at a profile of the stuntman Stuart Fell. I am sure he has a lot of fun stories to tell, so I think that'll be a fun watch as well. I love when people talk about the Pertwee era, so that'll be a lot of fun. We, of course, have Behind the Sofa coming back, and I believe we have Behind the Sofa for all of them. It's only 5 stories, so it should be. And we're going to have Katie Manning, Peter Davison, Wendy Padbury, Sarah Sutton, Janet Fieldings, and Sophie Aldred, and Michael E. Bryant. I love when Michael E. Bryant talks about Doctor Who, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I always love when TARDIS Team 5 is there. Peter Davison and Sarah and Janet, because they're just hilarious together. They are just hilarious. I love the fact that they have no qualms poking fun at stuff. It'll be nice, of course, to have Katie there. I tend to like when Sophie's there. It'd be good to have Wendy there. And again, I already enjoy Michael E. Bryant. They have omnibus movie versions of Day of the Daleks and the Sea Devils. I don't know if that really interests me, but I do think they need to be on there since, those were put out back in the 70s. Convention footage from the 80s with Nicholas Courtney and Richard Franklin. I think I will enjoy that. 5.1 surround sound for the Sea Devils. That's pretty cool. For the regular version and the omnibus version, that's pretty nice. And that's mostly it. We don't have updated effects for a story, which I find a little disappointing. That's 2 sets in a row where we haven't gotten updated effects for a story, although both sets already had a story with updated effects from the DVD range, with Season 2 having Dalek Invasion of Earth, and of course Season 9 having the special edition of Day to the Daleks, which was released on DVD back in 2011, which is my personal favorite story that's had updated effects, because the effects for Day of the Daleks special edition are phenomenally good. But I'm a little disappointed, and I wonder if that's something they're just doing away with, or just because the money went to so much other stuff here, like maybe some of the location stuff, or maybe the restoration work, because again, 15 of these episodes did need restoration work. They weren't the original masters, and I'm sure even the ones with the original masters, they did some tweaking and making them look better in Blu-ray, so a lot of the money could have went to that. It's 8 discs with 5 stories, and it looks like the stories that will be getting multiple discs are Day of the Daleks looks like it gets 2 discs, the Sea Devils looks like it gets 2 discs, and the Time Monster looks like it gets 2 discs. And going by what they did with Season 8, I'm sure for stories like maybe the Time Monster and probably the Sea Devils, they'll probably have the new restorations and the old restorations on there, because I'm betting Sea Devils and Time Monster probably have brand new restorations, because only half of Sea Devils exist on its original master, episodes 4 through 6. 1, 2, and 3 are, of course, reverse standards converted. I kind of wonder if the Curse of Peladon one, though, is going to be a complete remaster, or if it's just, the DVD upscaled and tweaked a little bit. I wonder if it's going to have a fresh restoration from the ground up. Because I think Time Monster is, and with Sea Devils having 2 discs, it probably is. But I wonder if Curse is just not going to be built from the ground up and just go from the DVD master. Which is kind of odd, because I figured Curse would be one that they would want to completely redo. People claim it's always had that soft look to it. Day of the Daleks makes sense to have 2 discs, because you have the original version and the omnibus version probably on 1 disc, and then you have the special edition and all the bonus features from that DVD release probably on the 2nd disc. So that makes sense to be 8 box sets. It still feels a little lacking to me, and maybe that's just me. Season 2 felt like it didn't have as many special features, but I kind of figured being, 37 episodes and a lot of restoration work going into them. But this one still feels like it doesn't have as many special features as some of the previous box sets. Now that could be inflation. I know here in the States, inflation hit us pretty hard last year, but I believe it hit Britain even harder, like 10 to 12% last year, and so inflation could be hurting the amount of budget they had to spend on things. That could be why we don't have a story with updated effects, because I understand the mutants and the Time Monsters both could use updated effects. Talking about the art itself, I think it's a mixed bag. It could be my least favorite so far. I like the background. I like the choice of purple. The purple looks good. It's the perfect color to use for this season, because there's a lot of purple in this season, especially Curse of Peladon, which is what the cover is mostly representing. Curse of Peladon. The Doctor is in his Peladon outfit, and he is holding the thing he uses to hypnotize Agador with. Although Agador's not really on the cover, except for that looks like that may be him and the reflection of the thing the Doctor's holding. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks more like one of the things from the mutants to me, but that could be him. I have a couple issues. One, his right hand looks a little weird. The way he's holding that thing looks a little weird. The face looks off. Now, of course, Season 2 had this problem as well, where it didn't really look like Hartnell, but I adjusted to it over time, especially now that I have it in hand. It doesn't really bother me, and that may happen here. But his face looks a little weird. Like, I think the head is too big for the body, maybe slightly. And to me, it doesn't look like John exactly. It looks like maybe Sean cosplaying as John, or someone else that looks like John cosplaying as John. It looks a little off. And I don't think he has his left eyebrow. When I zoom in close on the picture, it looks like there's no left eyebrow. And the right eyebrow only looks like it's like halfway there. They look like they've been airbrushed out, or attempted to airbrush out. The right one looks weird, and the left one looks like it's not there. It looks like they were airbrushed out and not put back. And don't get me wrong, I love Lee Binding's art. Lee Binding does an amazing job with these sets. But give John Pertwee his eyebrows back, Lee. I don't know. Something about the face just bugs me. Maybe I'll adjust to it, but it just bugs me. And then the biggest issue I have, and it is a big issue, is that it doesn't have Delgado on the cover. This was our last opportunity to get Delgado on the cover, because he's only in seasons 8, 9, and 10. And he wasn't on the season 10 one. Now, he's featured very prominently on the season 8 one. That was a great shot they used for him. But I really wanted one more box set with Delgado's master on it. This was the last chance to get it, and we didn't. And I think that was a very bad decision, especially when one of the people we have on it is Alpha Centauri, who's not even a villain. Now, they have some good pictures they use other than that. I love having the gold Supreme Dalek on it. I wish we'd had a couple more Daleks, like 3 Daleks, since Day of the Daleks infamously only had 3 Daleks. I would have loved to have had, like, the Supreme Dalek in the middle with a couple Daleks kind of in the background behind it. That would have been a great touch. I love the picture of the Ogron that's used. I think that looks really good. The creature from the mutants looks good. The Sea Devil picture looks good. I like how it has Kronos from the Time Monster, kind of the one in the middle in the back. That was a good choice. And how it kind of blends in with Pertwee's shirt. I like that. But I don't understand the choice of Alpha Centauri, who's not a villain. And also, well, we know the design choice for Alpha Centauri looks a little, well, you know. So to put that on the cover seems like an odd choice, especially when you're not putting Delgado on the cover. And I can't wrap my head around the logic of that at all. I just can't. I'm extremely let down. More so than the face looking off, not having Delgado in there irks me. Also, while the background looks neat, it looks like a lava lamp. It looks like a lava lamp. I find the art disappointing. Not necessarily bad, just disappointing. Because I expect better from Lee Bynum. He's my favorite Doctor Who artist. He's one of my favorite artists, period. I mean, like, even going back to, like, old school Renaissance artists, I love Lee Bynum's work. So I find it a little disappointing. Looking at the art for the interior right now, I love the booklet art, which is very obviously Day of the Daleks. I love that art with the Dalek plunger in the arm. Very reminiscent of the cliffhanger for the very first episode of Doctor Who, An Unearthly Child, when Barbara screams when the plunger comes into view. It very much is very reminiscent of that, because it's a shot taken from the Dalek's point of view, which I like. The TARDIS booklet picture, which I believe is from the Mutants. I haven't seen the Mutants. Looks very nice. I like that as well. The disc art, what we can see of it in the picture, looks really good. I do like the disc art from what we can see of it as well. So, I am excited about this set. I wish, again, it had more special features. I feel like it's a little lacking in special features. But, like, the money getting the 5.1 surround sound on Sea Devils was probably high. We already have updated effects with Day of the Daleks, which is probably the best updated effects we've ever gotten in a Doctor Who story, in my opinion. So while I'm disappointed we don't have another story getting updated effects, I can understand probably. I would much rather than spend that money doing the restoration work. Like, they come out and say, well, we could have done updated effects, but we put that money into restoring the episodes that needed it. I think that's the right choice to make. I'm looking forward to actually seeing, hearing more and kind of finding out which stories were redone from the ground up, which ones were just tweaked from existing DVD masters. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm excited about it. Again, March 20th is less than a couple months away, so hopefully it won't get pushed back. The idea of possibly being able to get 3 out this year is really nice, and it is possible. More than likely season 20 coming next. So I want to know what you guys think about this season 9. What do you think of the artwork? I really want to know what you think of the artwork, and what you think of the special features, and what you think should have been on here that might not be on here. Are you upset about not having the updated effects? Are you happy to have, like, the omnibus versions? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing from you guys. If you've enjoyed this video and you like my content, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers this year in Doctor Who's 60th anniversary year, and we're well on our way to that, so I would certainly appreciate that. I also have a Patreon if you like what I do and would like to contribute to what I do. That does help me keep the bills paid. There's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Finn Perkins, Stephen Crane, and Colin Coney. I appreciate their continued support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you would like to send me to look at and review, and a link to my Amazon wish list is down there as well. Most importantly though, thank you for watching.